you could like break down what I'm about to say to argue hypotheticals for why it's not true. But
Okay.
what I think that I overlook a bunch, if I look at Rudy's previous life as a life on this planet that we are currently living on, right? We're being shown so many flashy differences between Rudy's previous world and this one. But it seems like, for the most part, the people and the personalities are exactly the same. Like, regardless of what race they are, what skin they're wearing, what creature they are.
The issues that they come up with, whether they're social, economic issues, personal issues.
When you break it down and isolate just not even the whole... You can't just, like, generalize by putting, like, species and races together. When you isolate it and just look at Rudy and Ruijerd and their conversation... You're like, holy shit, this is like just a real conversation, man. It's so good.
And it's a hard conversation to have.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are comfortable having this conversation.
Do you think... So, wait, Ruijerd's necklace.
Yes.
Ruijerd, that was the reason that Roxy was able to track him, seemingly, to spying on the beach with Ruijerd and Eris fighting?
I was wondering if she was spying because she was she noticed it from afar and was trying to get a closer look at it. But you also brought up that maybe she could tell he was a Superb. But I'm gonna lean at the moment towards the necklace, probably because by the end of the episode the necklace was referenced.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Is that she was just trying to get a closer look at the necklace.
And Ruijerd noticed her too, you know? Which was the reason that he faltered a little bit, which I think had to do with Eris landing a hit. But of course, he would not say anything.
Was she running toward the Fangs of Black Wolf because she recognized the necklace and thinks she has a lead that Rudy might be in this city? If she's running,
if you recognize wait, when was she running towards them?
When Rudy's walking through the city.
Maybe.
With the food?
If she recognized the necklace, she could make and already didn't like Superds, she could make the assumption that a Superd killed Rudy and took his necklace. Especially because he wasn't there.
And all she saw was the Superd fighting a child and might not have understood the context that Eris was having fun.
Yeah.
And they were, not actually having a duel.
Yeah. Okay. We got to start talking about Kishirika.
Yes.
So... She is the great emperor of the demon world, right?
And that's actually real. That kind of blew my mind as soon as like Ruijerd was like, "Oh yeah, that's her name." Yep. She's real. She's the real deal.
So, do we think that Laplace was keeping her prisoner at one point, and that's what the shackles are from, or somebody was keeping her prisoner?
Does this mean that all of the original emperors, those demons, those really powerful demons, are they all getting resurrected, basically?
Why are they seemingly being resurrected in their own world, and Rudy was resurrected in a different world?
Well, I don't know, the mana disaster probably woke her up.
Maybe.
Because I think we saw her either right before it happened or as it was building.
The language that she used was so specific, she used, I already have a fiance in this incarnation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have, two thoughts. Okay, is Laplace your fiance? / Perugius, because if Perugius defeated Laplace, who knows what the fuck could go on. And my other thought was oh shit, Kishirika is engaged to Ghislaine. because Ghislaine has a special eye. And must have gotten it from Kishirika. Has to be.
So, yes, what you're going with the eye for Ghislaine, I have to assume that...
Or some other,
I mean, maybe some other demon or some other creature has the power to give eyes that do things. Mm-hmm. How many did Kishirika have?
12.
12 eyes? We don't know how many she currently possesses. She could have already been given them out to whoever fed her when
we don't know that she loses it by giving it away, in a sense, right?
I feel like she placed that specific eye into him, the eye of foresight. I don't think anyone else could have that eye after that.
Okay. I love the whole slot machine type like bit with
I
it.
love all of the bits. Like they were like having her do this like crazy outburst, and then they just zoomed back out to them just standing in the street talking, and then they zoomed back in on her face doing something crazy, and then I was really enjoying her presence on screen.
Did she like? It didn't look like she got the eye from anywhere, right? She was just like, she didn't like grab it out of her own. Yeah. What kind of demon eye will you give me? Well, let me see your face. And she just like shakes it like dice and then implants it. I wonder if like is the implication that she didn't even like care and she just kind of ran a lottery and the slot machine in her hand and just put a random one in there?
Possibly, or I mean, she already got a look at him, like, actually, and she was like, ooh, you know? So maybe she picked the one that she thought was best for him. But I will say, something the show did that I don't normally see is they actually gave him a swollen eye after.
Yeah.
They actually did that.
I wanted to see the actual dialogue of her, you know.
So does she lose the eye once she gives it to someone? Because it seems like she switched and used a different eye in order to see him.
Well, okay. So it seemed like she had a presumption about Rudy. Mm-hmm. And then to confirm that presumption, she switched to a green eye with 4 triangles in, each end. Mm-hmm. And that is what gave her the ability to see something about Rudy, which she remarked as disgusting, right?
Which you made the guess during the episode that she was seeing his past life self.
What are you? And she immediately switched out of it, you know?
What are you?
How disgusting. What's this? What is this? I've never seen anything like it. Like, part of me would be like, it's an eye that would let you see through, like, reincarnation cycles and be able to see the origin.
Who did Man God say is the reason that Rudy is like this? Was it the demon god?
I thought it was the dragon.
The dragon god?
God. I could be wrong. I'll look for it.
I think it started with a D.
I'm pretty sure it did as well. What episode was that?
When Man God first appeared, I think.
Man God, 6-eyed dragon god, wicked but better at reincarnation. Yep.
See, my mind was going somewhere because it was like, ooh, is this like an answer or somewhat more evidence to the demon god or being able to meet the demon god?
Yeah.
That we have a demon emperor now kind of recognizing that Rudy is something interesting. There's something special about him.
Maybe. I'm drawing.
But now that you said it was Dragon God, now I'm like, oh, that kind of... It would have been that other guy on the mountain.
What did Ghislaine's eye look like?
It was like a light green.
Yeah, it didn't have like the points though, did it?
No.
I don't think it did.
I think it was more like a yellowish light green. I think it was just kind of plain. I think it looked like her eye, just in a different color. Mm. No like special details. Like Rudy's his new eye has these like lines in it.
Yeah.
That I think are like orange.
What did she say at the end? She was like, call on me if you need me, right? If you're ever in need again, don't hesitate to call on me.
I wonder
like,
if
what?
Like that means that they're connected somewhat.
Maybe she can see through this eye as well. Like she's leasing it out.
Or one of her eyes that she still has access to has some honing in device in where she can know where all of the eyes are at all times.
You want to hear my biggest like applaud this episode? I fucking can't. So like I was 100% sure that they were going to show the eye transfer, make it glowy, and then go back to Rudy's regular eye.
Yes.
And then maybe every single time he used it, you could see like
yes.
The fact that they kept it drawn that way the entire episode, I was like, no fucking way.
It makes it feel more real and not like a gimmick. I mean, it was so real that he literally had a black eye all swollen because she literally dug out his eye and put a different one there.
Do you know how risky that shit is, though? Like, in terms of animation consistency?
It is
You
risky.
are asking yourself to fuck up and then get called out for missing a single sequence where you forget that consistency.
I mean,
that
whenever
is awesome.
You notice, whenever you're watching something and you notice there's an inconsistency, like, oh, their shirt was like rolled up. But then literally in the next shot, their sleeve is down, you know? And then that always, like, once you notice it, you're like, ugh.
It's those things that has made me, like, really, really appreciate this show. Like,
it doesn't feel like it was, like, skimped on budget or time.
It feels like a passion project.
Yeah.
You know, I loved that. Just like I loved the whole idea of the Eye of Foresight. The more mana you put into it, the farther you see into the future. He's able to see to 2 seconds, but the blurrier it gets, the farther it gets. So the shorter it is, it's more clear. It's cool that they played on the actual terms for like eyesight with that, and the effect that they're using is really cool too.
I have a question for you. Where do we go forward with Eris and her growth and her abilities?
You saw The Last Airbender, right? Remember Sokka needed like a swordsman trainer at one point? I think that Eris is going to get something that will level her up. Whether it's like an ability like that, or maybe a new sword that's special, maybe like, I don't know, like I think she will be powered up.
Do you think it's possible that Ruijerd is teaching her one of the different sword techniques?
It could be.
Because
That'd
we know
be
that
awesome.
Ghislaine was teaching her the one that Ghislaine had mastered.
Yeah.
Paul taught Rudy one, you know? So maybe we are going to go, we have all these other places on this map. Maybe that there are going to be other teachers for her, and she's going to master all of the sword styles.
That would be so cool. I
think
need
it would
Eris
work with the story. I mean, Rudy's learning all the languages, you know.
I would appreciate it a lot if she kept up. You know, in a lot of anime where it's just like, oh yeah, main character gets a bunch of, you know, armor. Yeah. And nobody else does.
Right. I want, especially because we get that emotional, like, self-conscious where real. She's been trying to, you know, be on the same level as Rudy since they met. I mean, that's the whole, other than Ghislaine also wanting to learn math and things like that, Eris didn't want to be incompetent compared to Rudy. She didn't, especially at first, it was like, this kid's younger than me, you know?
Yep.
But she has respect for him, and she wants to be able to stand beside him and be a team all together, and she wants to be able to offer something. And if Rudy now can hold his own better than her in a fight, what does he even need her for? She's just a princess to protect and rescue and take home.
Yeah.
And she doesn't strike me as someone that wants to be the princess to be protected.
Yeah. So what do you think about Gallus Cleaner? You think he's a smuggler, a pirate? He has gloves on.
So I'm like really into the idea right now that he's a pirate and he has his own ship.
We don't know they have not used the word pirate one time, I don't think, this entire show.
I could see pirates existing.
Yeah, that's true.
They're sea monsters.
He's like a better pirate because he didn't lose the eye that he has a scar on.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't need the eye patch.
Yeah. I think they're pirates.
I like him though so far. He's interesting.
I like him because of he's like all the tough guy attitude of like, oh, you need to look where you're going and walk straight. And then he immediately realizes as Rudy walks away what happened.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really cool that he sought out Rudy after that. I think that this is going to lead to a character that I probably like.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that. How did you feel about the fact that Roxy and the other two members of the Fangs of Black Wolf are in the same city, like have got on a ship and came to the Demon Continent? How do you feel about that?
I was obviously surprised that it was so quick, but then I was like, oh, it's probably a lot cheaper for them to travel since none of them are Superds.
What I was thinking is, so we know that Paul was going to a different continent. Mm-hmm. I think that he went for the one that was south, and he told in the letter, probably he told Roxy and whoever would read it in the letter where he was going. Yeah. And so they're choosing to go around the other way.
That would make sense.
And that would have kind of been the location. That's why I think that they're in like the tip port.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, because it was a globe. Yeah. So they're like going like this.
If you didn't see in the intro...
You're right. We don't know if it's around. The planet is round.
If you didn't see in the intro, we pulled up our makeshift, at the moment, map of this world.
A map.
From a mod. Sorry, I was getting it out. Yeah, so, okay. We're at a port, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know where it is. Like, I don't know if it's
I think it's in this location.
You think?
Yeah, because if you think about proximity, and where they were...
Anna is suggesting that we are at the top northeast corner of this entire world currently.
Yeah, because they were right here. And if they sailed across, they'd probably end up over here.
I guess it depends on if the world's round, right? Because if the world's round, then I get what you're saying.
Yeah. If it's not round, then they had a lot of traveling to do.
They had a long journey.
They had some mountains to go over. There's a giant ocean.
You know what, though? If you're telling us, if you're trying to, okay, so going forward with the idea that the world's round and that's the way that Roxy and them sailed over, right? If you are trying to immerse us and show us a world that we've never been in before, the best way to do that is to tell us that we can't afford a boat and we have to go by foot and we have to travel the entire globe to even get back where we started.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd make a lot more sense than sailing across the entire ocean, unless they have ships that are capable of that.
Going really
which
fast.
Would be nuts, yeah.
Magic. I mean, they have magic in this world. The
That's
ships
true.
could be like really fast, but there's also sea monsters, so it's dangerous. They're not allowed to go swimming.
Unless you can part the seas, like you said.
I don't know why my mind went there.
Moses?
As soon as he looked up at his staff, he was like, oh, the water. How do we, if we can't sail, how do we? And I just he looked over at his staff, and all I thought was just...
Yeah. Alright, that's all I have you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. We pulled up our makeshift at the moment map of this world. We pulled up our makeshift at the moment map of this world. We pulled up our makeshift at the moment map of this world.
We pulled up our makeshift at the moment map of this world.